We have just finished our experience at the Spicy Lounge, and other than it being pricey, it was pretty good. Now we're gonna go down outside again and continue our light tour, actually begin it proper. We've got a lot to cover, as I've just discovered. So we'll see you down there at our first location in front of Fallsview. So as mentioned, we have a fair amount of lights to check out in this 40th anniversary of the Niagara Festival of Lights. It is a happy occasion indeed. So we are in front of Fallsview, the casino, as you can see in the background, and it features a couple of displays, as mentioned before going into the Spicy Lounge, including this frame conveniently placed in front of the casino, and a bauble which we can travel through. It really is not that great, other than the fact that, you know, there is a fair amount of displays in this festival of lights. However, the bauble, or the bulb that I saw in Barcelona, was far more impressive than that. And now we make our way on back down the funicular into the parkway, as we have a lot, as I said, to cover. That is the first area of 7 that is featured here in the Festival of Lights. We're off to the funicular next. As promised, we are back. I'm not entirely sure we're actually going to get on it, but I do see some personnel on the funicular railway, with a much better or colorful view, I will admit. We will get our admission inside. Well, we have a solo descent this time, as our ascent, if you are watching, was a bit noisy versus this one. And the lights go out, and we get this brilliant display going down. Of course, with the falls in the background. We are headed a fair ways down in that direction to capture everything on the Dufferin Islands. However, we need to take a brief pause before we do so. Back at the Niagara Visitor Center, I wanted to feature some of these nice photo displays of the history of the area. It was a little busy in here earlier, so didn't really have the opportunity to do so. And also, of course, our Hope display, which was very popular with selfie takers earlier. And now here's our opportunity for hope. The falls are lit up brilliantly during this festival. It's actually surprising to me that in 40 years this is the first time I've been here. It is pretty extensive. 3 million lights. Really, compared to what we have back in Toronto, I'd say this is a much better operation. Now I've got to hustle because I want to get us all the way down to the Dufferin Island area, which features numerous displays, and you can see in the distance from this point, but it's not a short walk, so we need to get down there, and then we're going to make our way back along the parkway back to Clifton Hill and the conclusion of the Light Festival. There is also some displays in the Lundy's Lane area. Time permitting, we may go check those out. But on the right, you can see essentially all the displays that we're going to make our way through on the way back. Passing the Niagara Power Station, or the old Niagara Power Station, which features in our Currents vlog. And then coming back to Clifton Hill. So stick around. I just want to give you a little summary of what's to come as I kind of clam up a bit and let you enjoy the Festival of Lights. As this area is unmanicured, it makes for a quite eerie walk right next to the Niagara River. At last, we have arrived at the Dufferin Islands. We're actually right behind one of the main displays here that features on the water. However, we've come around this way so that way we can loop around and rediscover all of these trees and such, and a very treacherous walk across a bridge that, if it were to collapse, well, that would be the final drop, a first drop here. Well, this is another experience to be believed. Definitely a car-friendly experience versus doing it on foot like I'm doing. However, this way you'll get those nice up and close shots that you'll experience on this tour if I don't slip on the ice on the way. Okay, we have reached the beginning or the end, depending on how you look at it, because we're actually going to do the Dufferin Islands backwards to how it is experienced vis-a-vis the drive-through experience, as it's one way, as you can see by the signage and this backward sign. Everything backwards here at first drop. So here we go. Thanks for your wow. Thanks for your contribution. Well, we're just beginning, so enjoy a backwards tour of the Dufferin Island section as we make our way back to Clifton Hill and Niagara Falls proper. As you can see, there are plenty of areas for you to pull over and to enjoy the lights. And now I'll clam up while you get to enjoy the lights yourself. Just walking through this rather treacherous, unmaintained path along the water to get those sights. A rather brilliant display, I will admit. This area is probably the best decked out. Of the entire festival. This really reminds me of the Blackpool illuminations that I only recently visited for the first time. Very impressive. We are nearing the end of the Dufferin Islands displays, and these moose would normally greet you on the way in. Instead, in this situation, they're seeing us out. The area we just left in the background really makes for a very impressive looking drive through this small area. Reaching the conclusion of this Dufferin Island section, really a highlight of the entire festival. I can already say, having previewed a lot of the other elements in the day. So we get back onto the parkway through these colorful trees and make our way back through the displays along the parkway itself. And that is it for the Dufferin Islands. A very impressive display that honestly I'm surprised I didn't know about. And now we hustle back the way we came, of not too long of a journey now. I suppose you could spend some time just trying to guess what creatures are what, but I would say this is a cub. Obviously, maybe not obvious, but, and the mama bear. Very large. I will admit being very impressed by this Niagara Parks building, which isn't a parks building, it's, I believe, part of the old power generating station complex. In fact, I know it is. It is very, its classicism is impressive, especially lit up at night. Makes for some amazing shots, as you can see. We are now in the floral showcase area, butterfly conservatory, of which there is one feature presentation. As you get to this point of the display, you're like, lit up trees is just not enough. You need a little something else. Here we have it. Another one of those falling water interpretations, if you will. I do enjoy the colored snowpack, however. Proper perspective of how the falling water installation is supposed to look. And there you have it. All right, we're reaching close to the end of the tour now as we return now to the visitor center after the light tunnel, which is in front of the power station, which we just traveled through a second ago. So we have some more displays coming up here on the left as we do the Parkway section, and then we'll kind of wrap things up closer to Clifton Hill at the end here. So enjoy the rest of the tour. Behind the commemorative statue of Nikola Tesla and Tesla Plaza are these flash bulbs, which is a nice little touch, commemoration of a man who only now is getting the respect that they deserve, and soon to be featured in a iconic ride of their own at Europa Park. We reached the conclusion of our tour, or very near to it, as we get into diorama and storybook territory. The land of candy canes and gingerbread and non-working light installations and gingerbread people slash not sure what. This also is a shame that this area, the Queen Victoria Place gift shop and restaurant, is not open in the wintertime because it's almost inaccessible in the summertime. It's so overrun with traffic. But now it sits in peace. That's for sure. It's been a while since we've been in this area, so we reached the end of our journey, having walked all this way earlier in the day. Now we walk our way back. In fact, we've done almost a complete loop around, in the sense that Falls View is only just over here, and that first display that we saw on the way out of the Spicy Lounge was just over there. Now we have yet more trees to admire. Lots and lots and lots. Even these light fixtures and this whole street here, as you see in the background, Try to get a better shot of that for you. But those fixtures are officially part of the light display. As you see, one is right here. Did want to feature that. As we make our way down this final area. Unfortunately, there is one section with a very cool looking tree display on a lagoon that was part of the conservatory area or the botanical garden area that was closed off to the public after, I believe, 6 p.m. Which doesn't really make sense considering you can't really see that area at night despite it being lit up anyway. Besides the point. Having done this in a reverse order, it's kind of underwhelming as far as definitely the Dufferin Island section seems to be the highlight of this display and everything in that area. Again, it really does remind me a lot of Blackpool in the sense of the size of these displays and how they're spread out along the parkway. Very similar to how that is set up if you are familiar with that particular display. And of course, as mentioned, if you're curious, you can always check out the vlog shot earlier this season. We didn't manage to catch it, really, or at least I don't believe so, near the Dufferin Islands. However, this welcome sign is the official starting and end point for the Festival of Lights, which can only mean one thing. We've reached the end of our tour. So it's a farewell to Niagara Parks, as we say thank you to a very nice and impressive light display in its 40th year here in Niagara Falls, Canada. And I will admit, far more impressive than I originally thought. Alright guys, well that's, as I said, a wrap here from the Niagara Festival of Lights in its 40th year. Very impressive display. I definitely think that if you're in the area, it's worth a drive to check it out, especially if you like lights. Because, yeah, it's one of the better ones. It's far superior than what I remember from our Toronto displays, or even some of the ones that I've seen in Europe in the past. Very impressive. Even on a cold day like today, very manageable. Even on foot. Alright guys, thank you for watching again. Always enjoy.